Hello, YouTube world. My name is Monica Liana. Guten Morgen, everyone. Yes, I am German. Wie geht's? You are on Books and Beauty with Monica. I already put my makeup on because it is hard to record doing something while talking. Really hard. I commend anybody that does it. I'm going to get better at it, but I didn't have time this morning. I gotta get ready for it. I'm about to leave in about a few minutes. But I wanted to make this video because I made it and then fucked it up and was like, I refuse to not put this out. I refuse. Anyways, so I wanted to do 10 recommendations of thrillers or suspense books. Of course, my dogs are talking. That is Emery and Ava, everybody. My two brats. You'll see them later. But anyways, they're interrupting mommy right now. But I wanted to do 10 thriller suspense books that you don't necessarily hear about. A lot of these books, other than I think 2 or 3 of them, I've never even heard anybody ever talk about. I discovered them on my own. So I figured, I was like, I'm gonna put this video out because I feel like there's always like a handful of books that everybody talks about for good reason. Don't get me wrong, but it gets to a point where it's like, I need more recommendations. Like, I'm hearing the same books over and over. So this is going to be my 10 selection of like books that you've either never heard of, or you may have heard like maybe 1 or 2 people ever talk about them. So I'm going to leave my last 2 favorites for last just because they're my favorites. So let's start with The Tribes by Mari House. I will be messing up authors' names. I apologize. I'm not great. I got 2 languages. I mess up all type of words. Anyways, so The Tribes by Mari House is a cult thriller. Basically, a woman is found with an infant dead body and a lawyer comes in to represent her. We found out that there may be a little bit more to this because you know how cults are. Once you're exiled, they kind of go against you, even though before you're all the best person in the world and you're God's chosen person. But yet, as soon as you don't do what they like, they're like, hey, let's kick her out, type of thing. And that's basically what happens here. She gets blamed for something that she may or may have not done. And it's a good ride because it goes back. Like, I like cult books that like talk about how it all started, because you see how they get indoctrinated, and it's very fascinating. Like, I've read some cult memoirs, extremely fascinating. I love them. We're not talking about that right now, but I'm just saying they're great. Let's move on. So Mine by Courtney Cole. This one is basically a wife and her husband's mistress are stuck in a house while there's a storm outside, so they can't leave. And you can imagine a wife might be a little PO'd about this woman, and this woman kind of is like, I don't care, I like your husband and we gonna be together. So kind of goes from there. The next one is Mine, a Hate Story by Andy M. Long. This one I'm gonna give a trigger warning just because it does have transphobic stuff in it that I didn't know going in. Like, I had no idea. It's not in the synopsis, which is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with it, but I know some people possibly will, so just know. And basically, this one is about a woman that has lost kind of everything. She lost her child, she lost her husband, she lost her house. She's going after the man that basically caused it. So it's a good ride. The next one is called Best Day Ever by Carrie Hoder. This one is basically, I wouldn't say it's a slow burn, but it's not extremely suspenseful. Well, I can't talk. Suspenseful. And it's just a man who thinks he has this perfect life. They're having this day. Everything is great. And you learn as the day goes on, like, things busting out the seams, and it's not really what they think it is. It's really good. And it's actually really fast paced. It's not that long. The next one is The Nothing Man by Catherine R. Howard. This one you probably have heard about. I heard this one from Gabby Reed. I don't think I've heard it from anybody else but her. And this one is about a serial killer that finds a book made by him from his ex-victim. And he kind of gets a little upset because he's like, this is not how this happened, and this is not how this happened. And it's just him reading the book. And it's so funny because he gets a little butthurt, that he's not portrayed in the best light. And they call him the Nothing Man because they think he's nothing. So, really good. The next one is The X by Elfair Burke. This one is about a man who is accused of having done triple homicide, and a lawyer basically takes his case because she knew him back in the day. She feels like, I need to do this to make up for him because I know that he didn't do it. And you kind of try to figure out, like, why is he getting set up? Why him? What for? Who are these people that he supposedly killed and stuff like that? And it's just one of those, crime lawyer thrillers of like, did he do it? Did he not do it? And if he didn't do it, who did it and why? And then the next one is The Good Samaritan by John Mars. Now, John Mars is one of my favorite authors. We all know his other books. The One, Passengers, and What Lies Between Us. All great books. Some of those are like Black Mirror episodes. I cannot wait for his next one. I hope it's like a Black Mirror episode like The One and The Passenger because it's so good. But The Good Samaritan is a book that I don't feel like anybody really talks about. Some people probably do, but they don't talk about it to the degree of the other ones. And it's really good. Like, it's one of his earlier ones, but it's like, I would say it matches up with the other books that he's famous for. And it's basically about a woman who does a suicide hotline, but yet she does not help the people. She pushes them to actually commit suicide. And she kind of messes with the wrong one. And it kind of goes from there. It's really good. The next one is DJ Palmer's Saving Megan, which this one is Munchausen by proxy. And you basically, the whole time you're wondering whether or not the mother is like hurting her child because her child is getting sick, but nobody can find out what's wrong with her. So it starts to beg the question of like, is she sick or is she not sick? Because I guess she grew up with a mother that she was kind of an addict. So she used to make her kids like kind of play sick so she could get pills. So like they're starting to be like, well, did your mother affect you? And are you now hurting your child and doing basically the same thing? So the whole time you're wondering, you're like, is she doing it? Is she not doing it? So it's really good. I highly recommend it. Now to my two favorite books. I love these books. They have movies too, so read the book and you like them and go watch the movie. I have not watched one of the movies because I can't get it in English subtitles, but I will get it one day, just so you know. So The Audition, and I'm going to mess up this author's name, so I'm so sorry. Emery and Ava, they're upset with me because they know that I'm about to mess it up. Hey, Cheweenies, Mama's filming. Thank you. They say hello. I don't know if you can see them. No, you can't. Anyways, so The Audition by Ruhi Markarimi. I know I'm saying that, and I'm so sorry. Anyways, this one, I can't say much because it's a really short book. Just know it's a love story. The greatest love story you will ever hear about. The greatest one. And basically, this man is a widower. He would love to get married again, and instead of going on like Tinder or Christian Mingle or anywhere you would go to possibly get a date, he decides he's going to have an audition and act like he's going to do a movie, trick these females into auditioning for it, and he's going to pick his lady that way. I don't know what could happen, but something happens. Something. I couldn't tell you, but something happens. And just know there is a movie, and it's great. It's actually worse than the book, which is shocking. The next one is my favorite one, which is Confessions by Kanemi Noto. Saying that wrong again, I apologize. This one is about a teacher who gets revenge on her students, and because she gets revenge, it causes a trickle effect. And I went into this book not knowing anything. All I knew was that it was like a revenge story, which I'm like, ooh, sounds good. There is so much more to this book, and every chapter ends with a cliffhanger, and you cannot stop listening, reading it, whatever. I need to get this movie. I need to get it. But the problem is, I haven't seen an English translation. It's making me upset. So if anybody knows where I can get this movie without actually buying it, one day I may actually buy it. I may have to, but I'm trying not to buy it. I'm trying to just get it somewhere streamed. But anyways, so good. I don't want to say more than that. Like, all I know is that just read it. Just read it. If you like revenge stories, you like cliffhanger stuff, you like stuff that every end of the chapter there's like a cliffhanger and you got to figure out what the end is, read it. It's so good. Confessions by Kanemi Norto. I know I'm saying that wrong, but it's so good. And I've never heard anybody talk about this ever. I've seen somebody do a review on the movie, but I've never seen anybody actually talk about this book. And it's so good. And it's short. It's like super short too. So it's like you're not going to take that much out of your day. So read it. Support those foreign writers, even though I'm sure they got support over there, but still support them because they're great and they got a lot of good ideas that we Americans just sometimes don't know about because, we're used to our American people. No, support those people because they're great. Anyways, I know I'm on a tangent and I apologize. I got to get ready for work. It's cold out there. I don't want to go to work, but I have to, got to make money. Anyways, if you like this video, please subscribe, like. I understand I cannot talk. I've had speech problems my whole life. So you hear me stuttering or trip over words, I apologize. That's just how I am, and it's always going to be that way. Anyways, have a good day. If you liked any of these, please write them down or tell me you're going to read them or something, because I'm telling you, out of all these are really good recommendations that I feel like people don't really talk about. So anyways, have a good day. Bye.